messy. So, with that being said, and of course, as always, without any further ado, let's get into tonight's drama, shall we? Alrighty, so the first one is, am I the a-hole for disposing my pads in my boyfriend's bathroom? See, even without reading the story, I kind of have an inkling as to whether or not this Redditor is an a-hole, but let's reserve judgment until we've read it. My boyfriend, who is 23, and I am 18, female, have been together for about 3 months now, and this is the first time I've spent the night over at his flat while I was on my period. Since yesterday, I've been changing my pads in his bathroom, and each time I wrapped the used pad in a plastic wrapper and put it in the trash can. The trash can has a lid, and there's a plastic bag inside, so the pad was touching nothing but the trash that was already inside. I genuinely didn't think it was a big deal until my boyfriend took out the trash this morning and noticed the plastic wrappers in the bag. He knew they were the packaging for my pads because he had seen them before, and quite outraged, he asked whether my used pads were also in that bag. I told him yes, and he dropped the bag, calling me disgusting and telling me to take out the trash myself. I did, but then asked him where else I should have put my pads, and he told me I could have just kept them in my purse until I got home. See, if you want to talk about disgusting, that is disgusting. I'm staying at his place for 3 nights because we both have some time off, and I wasn't going to keep my used pads in my bag for days on end. I mean, imagine the smell, right? He stated that he didn't want my blood all over his trash, and that I should find another way to dispose my pads ASAP. I don't think my attempt of an explanation why period blood isn't as disgusting as he thinks it is got through to him, and he's quite set on his opinion. I think he was a bit childish because I don't understand how an adult straight man can be so disgusted by period blood. But when I texted my brother, who is 19, he sided with my boyfriend. As I've been outnumbered, I wanted to see whether other people also believe what I did was an a-hole move. I'm sorry, but honestly, I think the obese boyfriend and the obese brother have quite a bit of growing up to do before they can call themselves adult straight men. This is ridiculous. So obviously, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. The OB is not the a-hole, in my opinion. And honestly, I don't see how you could find her the a-hole in this situation. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Imagine having a boyfriend disgusting because you have disposed of your used sanitary pads in his bathroom trash can. The audacity. And it's not even like she just kind of like placed it on top and all the blood was visible. No, she rolled it up, wrapped it in the used wrapper, and then put it in the trash can. This boy has a lot to learn. I mean, how you could call a human body disgusting in any way. I mean, just normal human bodily functions. Sorry, but periods aren't disgusting. They're not. They're literally not. And without periods, his entitled ass wouldn't even be here today. So, wow. Wow. See, what is with men and like fragile masculinity? Like, these are the kind of boys, I'll say boys because you can't really call them men. These are the kind of boys who would be scared to buy sanitary products for their girlfriends because they think it would make them, less manly somehow buying those. I have also learned, and this was news to me honestly, and I was shocked, but I've also learned that there are men on this planet who do not wash their balls because they think it takes away from their masculinity if they touch their buttholes to clean them. These men exist. It is a fact. But I'm completely mind blown about it, and not in a good way. Absolutely not in a good way. Wow. Alright, moving on from the balls. Alrighty, so the next one was actually written by the boyfriend. So this one is, am I the a-hole for being embarrassed of my girlfriend's cosplay? My 25 male girlfriend, who is 24, had a double mastectomy 5 years ago. She had breast cancer and thankfully made a full recovery. Unlike a lot of women, she didn't have any reconstructive surgery. This was before I met her. I'm a big anime nerd, and last weekend I invited her to a small anime con with me. She's seen a few episodes of my favourite shows, but she's not really into anime like I am. She does like cosplay though, and she works seasonally as an SFX artist at a haunted house near us. That is so cool. That is such a cool job. So when I asked her to go to the con with me, she asked if she could cosplay, and I said, sure. She got very excited and said I was going to love her costume, so I'll admit I thought she was going to do something sexy for me. Oh dear. Oh dear. I can see where this is going. Well, not exactly. The day of the convention comes and she showed up at my house cosplaying Darby from MHA, specifically a look that he has later in the manga. It's a long white coat over white pants, no shirt. Her entire chest was exposed and she had obviously spent hours applying burn makeup. She has short hair that hair she dyes constantly, so this time she bleached it white and dyed a few red streaks. I wasn't expecting her to show up without a shirt. Her burn scar makeup only covered half of her chest, so you could clearly see her mastectomy scar. It wasn't a very attractive costume, especially since she had gone all out with the scars and made them look raised and kind of realistic. Because she's a special effects makeup artist, right? We went to the con, and while a lot of people came up to take photos with her, I noticed several others looking at her chest. That evening, she said I'd been quiet all day, and I honestly told her that I was a little embarrassed that she was flaunting her mastectomy scar like that. Flaunting? Really? Like, that's the word you want to use, flaunting. Alright. She got mad, what a surprise, and said she was making the best of her situation, and she also said that I was being insensitive, and she's been distant with me ever since. Now I'm starting to feel guilty. Am I the a-hole? As if this is even a question, right? Okay, straight off the bat, OB is definitely the a-hole, in my most humble opinion. Why? Well, he should bloody well be proud of his girlfriend. She beat cancer, right? And not only did she beat cancer, but she is properly making the best of her situation. She's not embarrassed of her scars. She's not embarrassed of her past. And I love the idea of incorporating them in the costume. That is so cool. And honestly, I would have loved a photo of that costume because I think that it would have probably looked incredibly awesome. The fact that he is embarrassed by his girlfriend being comfortable in her own skin disgusts me. Honestly, I would give that girl the advice to just run the other way, and I think she would dodge a bullet. Because that is no. I mean, how dare she not have a cute, pretty little cosplay outfit like one of those manga waifu girls, right? How very dare she? Because she's a strong, independent woman who kicked cancer's ass, okay? Wow. Honestly, reading these kinds of posts always makes me a bit sad because it just goes to show that there are lots of people who settle for partners who don't give them the love and the respect that they deserve. And oftentimes they don't realize it. They don't realize that they're settling for somebody who they're not compatible with. I really hope the girlfriend from this story finds someone who appreciates her for who she is and loves her, scars and all. I mean, it's a part of her past. Okay, so the next one is messy. Am I the a-hole for returning a birthday gift I got for my boyfriend after he insulted me about my colourful past? I, 26 female, dipped into my savings and got Mike, my boyfriend of 27, a PS5 for his birthday yesterday. He knew he was getting the PS5 because he told me that the PS5 is the only thing he wants. We've been together for 4 years, so the cost didn't matter. That is, until I found out what he really thinks about me. Some background. When I was 18, I was involved with Jake, a guy who I met online. We ended things after 3 months, and I moved on shortly after with Adam, a guy from work. Now, I found out a couple months later that Jake and Adam were actually really close friends, but I didn't know Jake long enough to meet his friend group, so I had absolutely no idea. After finding out, I took some time off dating, and 2 years later, I met my current boyfriend, Mike. I was upfront and honest with Mike about my past and the fact that I was unintentionally involved with friends. He said he understood and my past didn't matter to him. Now, last night at his party, I showed up with a PS5 and him and his friends were screaming with joy. His best female friend, Jessica, laughed and said, "I wish I was a thought so I could afford a PS5 too." I looked at her with an "excuse me" face, and she just said, "Never mind," and walked away. Oh, I love it when they do that. Oh, it's so satisfying. I confronted my boyfriend about it and he said, and I quote, "She's just messing with you. You can't take a joke." So I pushed further as to why this girl is even calling me names to begin with, and he said, "Well, everyone knows you were a thought before you met me." I asked him to explain exactly how I was a thought before him, and he said, "You know, messing with best friends." He then pat me on the shoulder and said that it's okay because I'm not who I was back then, and if he could get over my colourful past and my thought mentalities to give me a chance, then I could get over Jessica's comments and give her another chance. Oh wow, I can't. This is too much. I didn't say anything. I just got up. I took the PS5 from the table and left. Yes, girl. Yes, girl, as you should. Now, he was pissed. I bet he was. He literally called me like 20 times, but I didn't care. I was so hurt that I took the bow off and took it straight back to the store I got it from. They happily refunded it. I thought that was done, but Mike and all his friends, including Jessica, are berating me for being petty, and they're all saying I brought this on myself by making poor life choices. I responded to Mike and told him that he deserves better than me, so find someone who wasn't a thought and get the PS5 from them because I returned it. He started screaming how I'm the biggest a-hole for returning it and how I should be happy that he ignored my colourful past. I'm thinking maybe taking it back went too far. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Am I the a-hole? Is the OB the a-hole? Well, once again, absolutely not. This Mike guy, incredibly bad news. Incredibly bad news. He's literally sat there talking behind the OB's back to his friend group, like literally berating her for something that she told him, like she confided in him. And honestly, this is something that happened 2 years, more than 2 years before their relationship, right? And the OB didn't even know that they were friends. Like, come on. And even if she did, even if that's what she had wanted to do, so what? Live your life, man. I mean, don't go berating other people for choices they've made in the past. And especially in this instance, that wasn't even a choice. It was a coincidence. And she told her boyfriend that, and he completely abused her trust. Completely betrayed her trust. That is worrying, and that is a massive, giant red flag. Now, you guys, if you thought that this was messy, it gets messier. There is an update. Firstly, I unblocked Mike this morning and I called him to talk. After a few hours of arguing, I finally got the truth out of him. Honestly, you gave this guy a few hours of your life. Now, he said that after I told him about my past, he was fine with it because it happened before him. But then he got curious about who Jake and Adam were. So he went digging on my Facebook friends list and didn't find Jake, but he found Adam. He then condemned me for having an ex on my social media page. I said I don't speak to the majority of people on my Facebook, but I wouldn't delete them, I just won't engage. I mean, I have like 300 or 400 friends on my Facebook, but I speak to very few people on there, that's normal. He said that in his eyes that was a red flag. Yeah, he's one to talk about red flags, that's true. So he went digging and he found what he was looking for. He saw that Adam was well known and well liked by a lot of women because of all the women liking and commenting on his posts. And by the cars and trips he posted prior, he knew that Adam had to be well off. He also admitted to knowing some of the women who were in Adam's comments. He then tried digging into Adam's friends list, but it was hidden. So he asked Jessica to stalk his likes, comments and posts for a Jake. Sure enough, they found Jake. Saw that Jake drove an expensive car and came to the conclusion that I only date men with money. Note, Mike doesn't have money. So his entire analysis was dumb. Anyway, I asked him why he just didn't come to me, and he confessed that for a while he thought I was interested in Jake and Adam for money because that is just what women do, according to him. He then said that him and Jessica brought this situation up to his guy friends, and they all agreed that this is how the situation went. I was dating Jake. He introduced me to Adam. I found out Adam had more money than Jake. I left Jake to sleep with Adam and then started dating him. I questioned why I would leave Adam if I was with him for money, and my boyfriend said that he thought that that was a lie and Adam had actually broken up with me instead of the other way around. Ouch. He then said that he contemplated breaking up with me over this for months, but as he got to know me better, he slowly realized that I'm not that kind of person. I told him that he's basically full of said that whenever he brought me up, they all dismissed me as a gold digger, a thought, a woman who slept with men for money, and here's the kicker, probably still have some of that money saved. They came to the conclusion that I must be with Mike for some ulterior motive, but he was too embarrassed to defend me. He also said that he was embarrassed every time I mentioned a male friend or tagged any guy on social media because they all teased him afterwards. Oh goodness. I remember him asking me not to like any other man's posts on social media and to not tag any guys, but I just thought it was because it made him uncomfortable, not because his friends were silently stalking me. After hearing all of this, I decided to end things with Mike. I told him that he's not a nice person and I can't trust him anymore, especially because he knew I was saving for months to afford that PS5, and he allowed his friends to think that I got my money somewhere else. Yes, I am so glad the OP broke up with him. Yes, girl. So glad. After ending it, I said, "Oh, by the way, have you ever slept with Jessica?" He said no, but he said that after she found Jake on social media, she suggested that they can always hook up if he ever needs to get back at me in the future. I asked what she meant by getting back at me, and he said that she was certain I would cheat on him with a wealthier man if I found one. He then said that he gave me the truth after all these years, so I should forgive him and give him another chance, but I didn't. I just thanked him for the good times. I wouldn't even have done that. I'm gonna be upfront and honest with you guys. I wouldn't even have done that. That's how petty I am. So I thanked him for the good times, the memories, and for dirtying my name. That's better. Then I hung up and blocked him again. Now I think I'll take another long break from the dating world. Preach. Preach. Wow, I am so glad she dumped his ass, because honestly, that guy is so immature. He's basically a massive walking red flag. I feel sorry for the next girl, right? I really feel sorry for the next girl, because obviously there is some kind of unhealthy relationship going on between Mike and Jessica. I think we can all agree on that. Like, if she is suggesting that they can hook up to get back at his girlfriend, I mean, not the healthiest of relationships. Wow. Now this update, although messy, very messy, was quite satisfying, because I'm really glad the OP dumped Mike. I mean, that's exactly what he deserves. Let's do one more really quick one, alright? Alright, the last one for tonight is, am I the a-hole because I sat on boyfriend's friend's lap because there were no seats left? I, 25 female, and my boyfriend, B, 25 male, have been dating for 2 years. Now B is very intelligent, thoughtful and polite, but he is a people pleaser and he does not like confrontation. He has a best friend, K, who is 21 and male. K has big eyes, a cute button nose and an adorable smile, but an awful, awful personality. If he doesn't know you, he's prickly and rude. B says that's just how he is. K likes to make fun of me, but B says that K is just teasing and really he likes me. B keeps inviting K on our outings that are supposed to be dates. Most recently, B had organised a hiking/nature outing. Now when we arrived, I found out that he invited K, so the three of us did an easy but long hike for the entire day. At the end of the trail, there is a ride that takes you back to civilization. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's a kind of truck that is attached to a trap with seats. It's not enclosed, so you can see the night sky and feel the breeze. The ride comes around every 2 hours. There were several people waiting for the ride back at the end of the hike. When it finally came, everyone scrambled on, and I didn't have a seat. The driver yelled that I couldn't stand. I asked B to move over, since I'm pretty small and I would fit, but he said that he didn't think it was allowed since it was only one seat. He told me to wait here for the next ride. Wow, that's real classy. That is real classy. Now, I didn't want to wait alone while it was getting dark. The driver said to either sit down or get off. I started to move to get off. Now Kay said to sit on his lap. I wasn't in the mood to joke, so I sat on his lap. The ride was about 50 minutes to an hour long. We got off. B and I went to my car, and I thought that was the end of it. B told me that I had embarrassed Kay and everyone in the ride with the stunt I pulled. Excuse me. He said that I acted immaturely and I should not have done that. I should have waited for the next ride. Sorry. He requested an apology from me. I said that I didn't think I did anything wrong. See, this is exactly what I mean when I say that I don't understand where people find these boyfriends. Like, it would be extremely difficult, I think, to find a person who would tell their significant other if they didn't have a seat on the bus or on the car, whatever it was, to wait on their own in the dark, in the woods. Like, you would find that extremely difficult to find somebody who would let their significant other wait on their own for another 2 hours, mind. I think you would even find it extremely difficult for people to do that in a friend group who are traveling together, even a group of acquaintances or co-workers. You're not just gonna leave one person behind. That's just common courtesy. So for this Redditor to find a boyfriend who would let her wait on her own there for 2 hours, that is mind-blowing to me. Obviously, I think the Redditor is not the a-hole, and I honestly don't understand why the boyfriend didn't offer to have her sit on his lap, like especially when his friend offered, because can you imagine how uncomfortable that Kay was feeling? I mean, he was like, you go and sit on my lap then, like trying to resolve the situation. And even then the boyfriend didn't say, no, come sit on mine. No. I have the weird feeling that these aren't actually dates with the OP and B, but these are dates with B and K, and the OP is kind of third wheeling. This is wild. Get out while you can, girl, because this is a massive red flag. Massive I was thinking about that, and I think the OP did that to just make it quite clear that she has no interest in Kay, like no romantic interest. So I think that was the reason for that. But anyways, this is just such a weird situation, and like I said, I can imagine that it would be quite difficult to find a human being who would let their partner stand in the dark in the woods for 2 hours waiting for the next ride because they couldn't get a seat. Like, that is wild. You wait together, like you either both go or you both stay, right? That's absolutely mental to me. Absolutely wild. Run. Run, girl. Run and never look back. Because B doesn't deserve you at all. And the fact that he wanted an apology as well is just, it's outrageous, all of it. Alright, you guys, that was it for tonight's Reddit drama. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you guys so much for choosing to hang out with me again tonight. If you like these kinds of videos, please consider subscribing, liking this video, and leaving a comment down below with your opinions. I love reading you guys' opinions. And hopefully I will see you guys again for next week's video. Now I think all there is left for me to do is to wish you a very, 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 very good night. Good night. Sleep well, sleep well, sleep well, sleep well. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.